Hi everyone, welcome to the session of CMC Cellular Mobile Communication. In this class, we will discuss the remaining part of GSM architecture. In previous class, we have already discussed some part of GSM architecture. So already in previous class, we have seen that what is meant by GSM, how that it was generated, and next what is the architecture of GSM, what are the subparts in GSM architecture we have. So we have discussed two types of subsystems. Mainly we have four types of systems, subsystems. So one is mobile station, second one is base station subsystem, third one network and switching subsystem, fourth one operation subsystem. So among all these four types of subsystems, we have seen two types of subsystems. That is mobile station and base station subsystem. What is mobile station and what is base station subsystem? What are the internal parts we have? So these topics we have covered. Now we will see the remaining two subsystems. That is network switching subsystem and operation subsystem. So third one, network and switching subsystem. So NSS in GSM uses an intelligent network. It uses some intelligent network, and what NSS includes. So NSS includes mainly the switching functions of GSM. What are the switching functions of GSM? So those functions will be performed by the NSS. Okay, and it also manages the communication between the GSM users and other telecommunication users or other GSM user, or it may be non-GSM users. So the communication between the GSM user to other GSM user, or the communication between the GSM user or non-GSM user. So that communication will be provided by the NSS. Okay. So that means we are calling to other person. Our mobile unit is that is we are using some GSM, and other system is the other person also uses GSM. That communication will be provided by the NSS. And similarly, if the other person is not a GSM user, so that is it may be PSTN or it may be CSTN. So that is public switched telephone network. So the other GSM users also communicated with the GSM users by the use of NSS. Okay, what are the functions of NSS? We have mainly 6 or 7 functions in NSS. First one, mobile service switching center, MSC. Second one, interworking function, IWF. Third one, home location register, HLR. Fourth one, visitor location register, VLR. And fifth one, gateway MSC or GMSC. Sixth one, signaling transfer point, that is STP. Okay, so these are all functions performed by the NSS. So first one, mobile service switching center, or we can also call it as MSC. So it coordinates the call setup to and from GSM users. So that means when we are making a call to other person, then that will be coordinated by the MSC. So that means normally we are calling to other person. That is, the call is forwarded from mobile station to cell site, that is BSS, base station subsystem, and that is forwarded to MSC, that is mobile service switching center. And by the use of MSC, the call will be set up to other person in order to communicate with the other person. Okay, so that is call setup will be coordinated by the MSC. So MSC also controls several BSS. We know the mobile switching center controls or coordinates with all the cell sites. That is base station controller. So we can also call it as cell site. So all the cell sites or all the BSCs are under the control of MSC. It controls all the BSCs, all the cell sites. Okay. So by the coordination of all the cell sites only, the call will be set up to one person to another person. Second function is interworking function. In short form, we can also call it as IW. So here, the gateway for MSC to interface. So what is IWF? So to interface with external networks for communication with other GSM users or with users outside GSM. Here we are using IWF. So other users means such as packet switched public data network, or we can also call it as PSPDN, or circuit switched public data network, CSPDN. So to communicate with other users means PSPDN users, CSPDN users. PSPDN means public data network, packet switched public data network. CSPDN means circuit switched public data network. So in order to communicate with other GSM, with other users, we are using this function. So this is used to interface with other GSM users by using some external networks. So this is the function which is used by the GSM in order to coordinate with the other GSM users, non-other GSM users. Okay. So the role of IWF depends on the type of user data and the network to which it interfaces. It depends on the type of user data as well as the network of user. Okay. So this is the internal and external environment of NSS. So first one is external environment of NSS. So NSS mainly coordinates with other BSS, that is base station subsystem, and also PSTN. PSTN means already we know. So in order to communicate with other GSM users, or in order to communicate with GSM users, we are using NSS, and it also coordinates with other cell sites or other base station subsystems. And it also consists, it interacts with OSS. So this is the external environment. Coming to the internal structure, this is the internal structure of NSS. So NSS consists of mainly MSC, GMSC, HLR, AUC, or in MSC we have some VLR also. And it also communicates with other BSS and PSTN networks. Okay. So this is the external environment, and this is the internal structure of NSS. And third one is home location register. Home location register, that is HLR. This is third function of NSS. So it links to one or more MSS. So home location register mainly consists of a standalone computer without switching capabilities. So HLR means it consists of a computer, a standalone computer without any switching capabilities, and it has a database. That database contains the information about the subscriber as well as the information related to the subscriber's current location. So home location register means it is a computer. It consists of a computer and it has a database. The computer has a database, and database contains the information about the subscriber and the information related to the subscriber's current location. That is when the person moves from one location to another location. That let us consider the subscriber moves from home to office. Okay. Mostly the subscriber spends his time in the office. Okay. And the current location becomes the current location of that subscriber becomes office. Okay. So that means when the subscriber moves from one location to another location, the current location may also changes. Okay, because it moves from one place to another. That is, he moves from one place to another place. Okay. So what is the current location of that subscriber and the information of the subscriber? So all the data is under home location register. That is HLR, but not the actual location of the subscriber. That is, it does not contain the actual location of the subscriber. What is the actual location? That is the home location. So it contains the current location information. Okay, so that is about HLR. We have a subdivision in the HLR. So that one is called authentication center. We have subpart in the subdivision in the HLR, that is authentication center. In short, we can also call it as AUC. So AUC manages the security data for subscriber authentication. The security data of subscriber is under AUC, that is authentication center. In order to provide the authentication for the subscriber, the security data is under AUC. It manages that security data. And we have another subdivision in this HLR. So that is EIR. EIR means Equipment Identity Register. Another subdivision of HLR is Equipment Identity Register. In short form, we can also call it as EIR. So EIR means it stores the data of mobile equipment or mobile equipment related data. What is meant by mobile equipment? So in MS, we have two parts. One is mobile equipment, another one is SIM. So the mobile equipment data is under EIR, that is Equipment Identity Register. It stores the data of mobile equipment. That means what is the model of our phone and what are the features of our phone or mobile equipment. So those data comes under Equipment Identity Register. It stores the data of mobile equipment. Okay, so that is HLR. HLR means it contains a database and it stores subscriber information and information when the subscriber moves from one location to another location. That is, it contains the current location of the subscriber. And we have two subdivisions in the HLR. One is AUC, another one is AR. AUC means it manages the security data of the subscriber. In order to provide the security for the subscriber, it manages the security data. And we have EIR. EIR means Equipment Identity Register. It stores the data of mobile equipment. Okay. And fourth one is Visitor Location Register. In short form, we can also call it as VLR, Visitor Location Register. So VLR links to one or more MSS. So it links one or more MSS. MSC means, already we have seen, MSC is the Mobile Service Switching Center. So all the MSCs are linked to the VLR, or it links to one or more MSCs. Okay, if you have one or more MSCs, it is related to all those MSCs. Depending on the MSCs we have. And next, temporarily storing subscription data currently served by its corresponding MSC and holding more detailed data than the HLR. So it links one or more MSCs. If you see the figure, so this is the MSC. It links one or more MSCs. It links to one or more MSCs. It links one MSC or one or more MSCs. So in clear, we have seen. So this is the figure. This is our mobile station, we know. And this is base station subsystem, second one. This is MS and this is VSS. And this is third one, NSS. Okay. NSS consists of MSC, HLR, VLR, AUC, and ER. Okay. And VLR means Visitor Location Register. It links to one MSC or it links to one or more MSCs depending on the requirement. Okay. And it temporarily storing the subscriber data currently served by its corresponding MSC. So that means when the subscriber moves from one location to another location, its MSC also changes. The subscriber MSC also changes. Okay. So that means if he is at one place, he related to one cell site or one MSC. And he moves from one location to another location, the cell set also changes and the corresponding MSC also changes. Okay. So when the subscriber moves from one location to another location, then the subscription data currently served by its corresponding MSC, that is stored in the VLR temporarily. Okay. And holding more detailed data than the HLR. What is HLR? HLR means Home Location Register. So it stores the subscription information, that is the current location of the subscriber. And VLR means it is also used to store the subscriber information, and it stores the subscriber information, that is, it has more detailed information, more detailed subscriber information than the HLR. When he moves from, or the subscriber moves from one location to the another location, and it related to that corresponding MSC when MSC changes. Okay. VLR holds more current subscriber information location than the HLR. So that is the point here. So this is the functional architecture and principal interfaces. Already we have seen the interfaces. We have three interfaces, that is A interface, ABC interface, and AIR interface. And this is the functional architecture. And next Next one is gateway MSC, that is GMSC. So in order to set up a request call, the call is initially routed to a gateway MSC. So when we make a call, the call is forwarded from our mobile phone to our mobile station to the cell site or BSS, and that is again forwarded to the MSC. So, and it is routed to gateway MSC. In MSC, we have gateway MSC, and what the gateway MSC do? So the gateway MSC interfaces with other users, other GSM users or other non-GSM users. Okay. So gateway MSC finds the correct HLR by knowing the directory number of the GSM subscriber. When we make a call, the other subscriber, the called subscriber, their data will be stored in that corresponding HLR. Okay. So gateway MSC finds that HLR, the correct HLR of other subscriber or other person by knowing the directory number of the GSM subscriber. So that means by the use of gateway MSC, it can easily locate the subscriber, other subscriber, that is the call number, by knowing the correct HLR. Okay. So that means within the minimum time, it can connect the call to other person by knowing the other HLR, other subscriber information which is located in the HLR. Already we know every subscriber information is stored in HLR. When you make a call, when we make a call to other person, the other person HLR will be routed by the gateway MS, and it will connect the call within less time. Okay, so that is the advantage of gateway MS. So by knowing the location of the subscriber, it will directly or it will connect to other person within less time. Okay, and GMSC has an interface with the external network for gatewaying, and it uses some protocol, that is SSN, that is signaling system service. You can also call it as SSN. It uses this protocol in order to interface with the external networks. So in order to interface with the external networks means in order to interface with the GSM users or other GSM users, it uses this protocol, SS7 protocol. And next one is signaling transfer point, or STP. The last one is signaling traffic point, or STP. So STP means it is an aspect of NSS function. It is also a function of NSS, and it is a standalone node or in the same equipment as the MSC. So STP, why we are using STP? STP reduces the cost of signaling transport among MSC, GMSC, and HLR. So if you see the figure, so here signaling transfer point is used to reduce the cost of signaling transport between MSC or VLR to GMSC and as well as HLR. So in order to reduce the signaling transport, here we are using STP, signaling transfer point. That is the last function of NSS. Okay. So NSS uses the intelligent network. We know it separates the central database HLR from the switches MSC and uses STP to transport signaling among MSC and HLR. So in order to make the signaling transport, in order to make the signaling between MSC and HLR, we are using STP, and it reduces the cost of signaling between MSC and HLR or GMSC. And next one, this is the architecture we know, and this is also network structure of GSM. This is mobile station, this is base station or cell site. Cell site consists of BSS, that is BTS and BSC, and so these are all comes under cell site. And next it is connected to MSC, and in MSC we have GMSC also. These are all comes under NSS. We have VLR, HLR, and EIR and AUC. So this is the network structure of GSM. And fourth subsystem is operation subsystem. So operation subsystem means it consists of three functions. First one, network operation and maintenance function. So The network operation and maintenance function comes under operating subsystem. Here we have the figure. So OSS consists of network operation and maintenance function. That is, network is operated and maintained. Our network is operated and maintained by the OSS, operation subsystem. And it also consists of subscription management and charge. So subscription management, that is including charging and billing, comes under OSS. The charging and billing of the user of the network comes under OSS, operation subsystem, and mobile equipment management. To manage the mobile equipment, we are using OSS. So these three functions comes under OSS. First one, network operation and maintenance. Next one, subscription management and charging. Mobile equipment management. Mobile equipment management means we have MS, and MS, the subpart of MS is ME. This is managed by the OSS. Okay. So that is the fourth subsystem of GSM architecture. So these are all 4 subsystems of GSM. Okay. So in previous class, we have covered 2 subsystems. In this class, we have covered the remaining 2 subsystems. So thank you.